6 months ago, while clinging on to the last few months of my 20s, I couldn't walk for long periods of time because of an ankle injury. So I made the tough decision to have surgery. And now, half a year later, I'm back doing some of the things I love. Was this journey harder than I expected? Absolutely. Did I want to quit at times? More than once. But did I keep showing up and stay motivated every single time? This here is my 6-month update post ankle surgery. As always, a very welcome back to my channel, everybody. I'm Khaled, and over the last 6 months, I've been documenting my raw, unfiltered recovery post ankle surgery. It's been emotional, eye-opening, and honestly one of the best decisions I've made. Stepping out of my comfort zone to share this publicly was not easy for me, trust me, but your support has made it worth every second. And now, honestly, a big shout out to over 200 subscribers on this channel. Seriously, thank you so much for that support. I started this series back in April with the idea to try help people who are in similar positions to me, and hearing how it's resonated so positively with so many of you means everything to me. So with that, let's keep building this space, sharing our updates and our setbacks with the hope that more people will feel seen and supported. And lastly, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that, let's get into the video. Now, it had been about a month since I last saw Kieran, so this physio session was a much needed reset for me to be able to get back on track with my rehab. I brought him up to speed with how things have been going for me and shared my concerns, specifically that my quads were burning out super quick when I run or jump. His assessment was what I expected, really weak glutes. To be honest, I was already aware that I was neglecting them in the gym post-surgery, so it was only a matter of time before that caught up with me. We kicked this session off with me on the treadmill to check out my running form. Overall, Kieran was pretty happy with how things looked. The key thing is my knees are not collapsing inwards with each land, which is a huge win. There is a slight outward landing on my left ankle, but it is minimal and I am mindful of it, especially when I'm running or jumping. His only real tweak for me was to slightly bend forward. At the minute, I'm too upright when I run, which means that I'm overextending my leg for each landing. The slight bend forward will minimize that and makes for a more natural landing. It's just a form cue that I need to be mindful of whenever I'm running. That's about it on the running form at 6 months post-operation. Overall, no major red flags, which is a huge win. The new exercises this week are focusing on two things. One, building up tolerance in that single leg hop, and secondly, addressing that lingering frontal pain that is limiting my power. Honestly, I feel my ankle strength has come a long way over the last couple of months. The only thing really holding me back is that sharp frontal pain that I have. The hope is with more targeted plyometric work, it starts to settle. So the first exercise is a single leg hop with a band to assist. This one is all about developing explosive push-off strength while offloading some weight with a resistant band. It was tough at the start, but I've settled into it now and I'm able to do the exercise with minor pain. Second exercise is box jumps. I've progressed into more powerful jumps to help build overall leg strength. These are great for improving both takeoff and landing control. Plus, they get a good sweat going. Definitely one of the harder ones, but I do enjoy it. Third exercise is a reverse box landing into a double leg jump. Here I'm landing first on my left leg to build up impact tolerance from a higher platform. There's no issues at all with these, and honestly, confidence is growing with each session. I'm doing all 3 exercises for 3 sets of 6 reps, and so far no pain, no setbacks, which is a huge win. Kieran also added in some exercises to tackle my weak glutes and hopefully alleviate some of that pain or burnout that I'm getting in my quads. Kieran introduced 2 new exercises to tackle this and also reminded me to step up my glute and hamstring work in the gym. Exercise 1 is brutal. It's a glute activation drill designed to build strength and switch those muscles back on in my glutes. You hold this position for about 15 seconds, 10 reps per side, while pushing your knee into that foam roller. That pressure forces your glutes to activate properly, and I won't lie, I do not enjoy this one at all. It's genuinely tough, but it is working, and I've noticed I'm starting to tolerate that position a bit more. Still, doing it 3 times a week is so rough. Exercise 2 is focused on the quads. Using the leg extension machine here, I'm loading up heavy and holding the weight without actually extending my leg. It's an isometric loading position, and each hold lasts about 15 seconds, 6 rounds, and I'm doing 2 sets of each leg. So that is it for the new exercises that I got for this session, and I noticed quite a few of them. Here's how I've incorporated them into my weekly gym program. This is the current plan for the next 4 weeks before I go back in to see Kieran. I'm doing my glute and leg workout 3 times per week, so I've broken down my weekly plan to cover this on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. They're the same days, so I'll just go through Monday as an example. And then for my runs and plyometric work, they are twice a week and I'm doing them on Tuesday and Thursday. It's quite an intense week, but I enjoy it this way and it gives me time off at the weekend. So Monday I start off with some light warm-ups for about 10 to 15 minutes to get me ready to move into my rehab plan and leg session. As I'm about 4 weeks until I see Kieran again, I've broken it down into weekly sessions to track my progression. It's a simple way of doing things in my opinion. I'm doing my glute activation, calf raises, RDLs, glute thrusts and quad isometrics. Note that these don't have to be done in this order. I tend to just do it in order of availability of the machines, so there is good flexibility. Then on Tuesdays, I tackle my plyometric work and mix in some upper body pull or upper body push workouts depending on the day. This is another fun workout. I start this off with a dynamic warm-up which includes the plyometric work and the cone drills, then move into my actual workout and finish off with my runs. It's also important to note that on Monday and Wednesday and another day at the weekend, I'll do some active recovery which includes swimming and the plunge pool, jacuzzi, etc. So yeah, it's very important not to skip this part, and that's about it for my plan for the next couple of weeks. Now all that progression is great, honestly, but there is still one thing holding me back: that sharp pain that I get in the front of my ankle. It comes out of nowhere and is super frustrating. Unfortunately, in the last couple of weeks, I have two examples of when this happened again. The first one was when I left the gym after doing my first glute session. I left feeling really good, like I did a really good leg session, and then I met my friend for a coffee after. And we sat for about an hour, had good chats, and then when I stood up, I could not walk. And that is not an exaggeration. I had to use the chairs and walls around me just to move. It was that intense, right in the front of my ankle. I couldn't put any weight through my foot. It lasted for about 20 minutes before I could even limp back to the car. A few days later, it happened again at the gym. Same reaction, same intense pain, but this time it lingered for longer. It's a scary feeling because it hits without warning, and to be honest, it's given me anxiety anytime I sit for long periods or if I go to the gym, because I just don't know when it's going to happen. It's that unpredictability which is absolutely horrible. So that leads me to where I'm really at that 6-month mark. Am I in a better place than I was before surgery? Yes, even with that random frontal pain, I'm still in a better place. So the answer is absolutely yes. My ankle feels stronger, more stable, and day to day, I don't have any problems with my walking. To put some context behind that, in February this year, just about a month before my surgery, my girlfriend and I went to Rome for a weekend. And as you expect, we did a lot of walking. On the second day, I remember visiting the Vatican Museum, and I had to take constant breaks because of pain in my ankle and foot. Primarily down to the way I was walking because my peroneus brevis tendons were damaged. So yeah, that was unbearable and I could not wait for my surgery to happen. And now if you fast forward to today, I'm back walking, doing hikes, going up trails, stuff that I really love to do. Now, I'm not doing all of this without any sort of discomfort or pain. I don't have real pain. It's more discomfort or stiffness which I have, which is expected after surgery. So I definitely am in a better place. You know, and I do hope, or I want to hope, that by the end of the year that stiffness and tightness settles up a bit better. So again, we'll have to stay tuned for that one. And now to discuss my expectations, if I look back to where I was before surgery, did I expect myself to be in a position 6 months later still feeling stiffness and discomfort? The short answer is no, but the long answer is no, because I didn't really anticipate or research how I was going to be feeling at this point. I didn't discuss it with my surgeon or physio, and I just kind of had the assumption that I'll do my surgery, be in a cast, be in a boot, get back walking, get back running, do my rehab, get strong, and I'll be fine. I didn't really try understand, or I kind of just overlooked the nuances such as the sharp pains, the nerve pain, and the tightness, the weaknesses, you know, the pain traveling up your leg. I didn't really research any of that. So I guess if I look at my expectations, am I in a better position walking? Am I able to run again confidently? The answers are yes. Back walking, doing hikes, uphill, downhill, no problems. Bit of discomfort, yeah, but no pain in my ankle, no pain in my foot that's actually stopping me from walking. There is that odd sharp pain that I discussed in my last video where I have to sit for a while. But overall, it's not every day. The pain I had was every single day before my surgery. Now it's once or twice over a couple of weeks, which for me at 6 months, I'm happy with. Whether I'll be happy with that in a year, let's see. Let's take each day as it comes. Time will only tell. But overall, I am happy. Overall, I have met my expectations. Now that is it for this update, guys. I appreciate following along. I hope this video gives you some insight and reassurance that if you are in this position, you are not alone. We are all in this together. Until next time, guys, peace.